This is the NOVAR Verizon Cup Series, race number 29 of 30. We head to the American Airlines 200 at the Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth, Texas. McDonalds pole, we're going to dump for the number 7 of Mike Hogan. Hogan, he would lead the field to the group with Jared Lansall in second, Chandler Blake third, Brian Wilson fourth, and then MJ Howell in the number 48 and 5th. Hogan, he would get off to a pretty nice lead early after the going. As we see two of our possible championship contenders, Lansell starting second, Clark starting in 8th. Eddie John started 41st as a result of his pretty slow lap times. But there would be a pretty big crash on just the first caution, lap 3. Walter Ethan gets turned 4 a bit too high. He gets inside, spins, and gets the 99 decimal, and they'll fly in the air. So we got cars flying in the air. There's Eddie John's involved, Ty Piper, Brian Wilson, Gordon Biller, Thomas Lawyers, Logan Chin, Blake Batangliana, Carson Brooks, Cody White, Alan Kimmel. Well, here's another angle of it. Walter Green spins, Daniel Salmons, and then Salmon hits the wall to the point where it just flies over. We have no word on Daniel Salmon's medical condition, but we do hope he's okay. Here's from Eddie John's perspective. He almost made it through, but got hit by the 49 of Eddie John by Walter Green. Spins around, and then just has nowhere to go. Cameron Brooks in the 33 led on this restart with Austin Warwick in second. Third place was Mark Mangillo. Fourth was Scott Johnson. Fifth was Ryan Pearson. The 33 of Cameron Brooks would I believe not get his best to start. Eric Wilder fell 2 laps down as of pitting just prior to the caution, but at least he's maintaining pace with the leaders. As Mark Mangillo, let Mark Mangillo go by and take the lead. Ryan Pearson is going to follow suit and take second away from Cameron Brooks. As you see, Mark Mangillo is going to then try to relap the 07. Caution 2, lap 12. Looks like Sean McDowell touches this 12. Michael Scott, he gets into Logan Chin. Logan Chin gets into the outside wall pretty hard. However, Logan Chin was able to continue on with this race as he almost gets sidewiped by Cody White, Todd Piper, and Jesse Donahue. Scott Johnson, the 58 car, the Talladega winner, leads on the street start with Brian Pearson, the Camden winner. Jake Kierland had to also pit for a very similar situation. Ronald Portland third. Aaron Fisher in the 89 is in 4th, and that's pretty much step 4. Caution 3, lap 17. Jake Kierland, Austin Warwick, James Jr., 3 rookies. They go 3 wide, and they all cause a result of a crash. Kierland and Wilson spin. Kierland will get into Cody White, and then he will have and then Shane Howard into the 76. So a pretty hard hit for the 76 of Jalen as he comes back on his wheels. Here's from James Wilson Jr.'s perspective. He came in here as I believe the Rookie of the Year points leader. He comes up. Cody White has nowhere to go. He gets run into by Todd Piper, and then Shane Clark the third involved in the 98 car. And we see Logan Chin just run in the back of the 98. This would lead to the 98 parking it for the day. Here is from Shane Howard's perspective. Nowhere to go. Gets into the 76. The 00 just also has nowhere to go. And Howard, he does a couple of barrel rolls, and he lands wheels, but this would result in most of these cars involved, including Shea Clark III, would go out of the race. Scott Johnson, the 58, led on this restart with Aaron Fisher in second. Cameron Brooks third. Carson Brink in 4th, and Michael Scott's in 5th. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But however, we have our 4th caution on lap 52. We had a pretty long run. Aaron Fisher is going to get turned by Dylan Wally. This is going to result in the 75 spinning down the back straightaway. Nobody would hit the 75, and the 75 would continue. We would have pit stops into this caution as we see. I believe it's Jesse Donahue and Eric Webler. They have already pitted. Peyton Lansell is the first car to enter, but Lansell, however, will have a pretty slow stop as he will have to, I believe, he will take 4 tires. Here's the race off pit road. David Payton, Austin Warwick, Jared Lansell, Blake Batangliana. They all fall in top 5 exiting the pits as we have a pretty close race. However, Cameron Brooks somehow speeds out. He does, for some reason, I think he doesn't get caught for some reason as he's just sped out of the pits. Carson Brooks also does the same thing as well. However, I think that's just my visual there. David Payton in the 24 would lead on this restart with Austin Warwick in second. And then we have Jared Lansell in third and Michael Scott fourth, Blake Batangliana in 5th. Very similar to how they exited the pits. Austin Warwick having a pretty good day in the 3 car, but however, his day would end on the 5th caution, lap 58. Austin Warwick, he get turned by the 50 of Blake Container. He would spin across the infield, get by Thomas Sawyers, and hit hard into the outside wall. That was a retaining wall right there. Ronald Portland has nowhere to go. Brian Dawson, Shane Harden, Dylan Wally, Mark Mungillo, Carson Brookski, and then Aaron Fisher is involved. Here's from Thomas Sawyer's perspective. He's just riding along, sees the 3 car, tries to slow down, and then he has nowhere to go. The 24 nearly clobbers the 16. However, the 31 was not lucky enough, and he had to clobber the number 16. Michael Scott in the 12 was leading on the restart. This is a surprise for the 12. And Scott, he won the 2008 and 2009 events here. He did two back-to-back, dominated the 2009 race, and I believe he led the most laps in the 2008 race. But Scott, he has been not. But however, Scott, he scored his first top 5 of the year last week at Blue Ridge after finishing 4th after trying to charge his way up to the lead in the later stage of the race. Here you see Jared Lansell on the 13, your points leader, was going to take the lead away from Scott. There was an incident on lap 88 that didn't bring in a yellow. Jared Lansell touches the 24 and the 15 and 20, and the 24 goes sideways down the back straightaway. And the reason was that for not caution because he went only about at least 45 degrees down there. He continues on going, but he would be out of contention for the rest of the day. However, his luck was taken care of as there was, I believe, our 6th caution will fly on lap 107. Jesse, normally when you're the lap car and you cause a wreck, you're normally to be blamed, but this is not the case. Eric Wilbur runs up into tries to use the outside. There goes Jesse Donahue. He flips violently down the track. Gordon Billard, Shane Harden's involved. Eric Weller makes a big mistake and there's Mark McGilligan turn around. Weller makes a big mistake. He thinks he's clear on the outside. Donahue moves up and then he wrecks himself. And then Cameron Brooks, the race leader at the time. There's Dylan Wally and Shane Harden getting involved in this wreck. Gordon Billard also got a big piece of that. So Weller, this was kind of a dumb move as you could have just been held up by the lap car, but he just decided to go to the outside. Ryan Pearson would lead on this restart with Michael Scott in 2nd, Stephen Volk in the 5 and 3rd, and then Alan Kimmel in the 88 and 4th. It would appear that all 4 of them would actually be contenders, but Michael Scott had the fastest one because this was what happened. Michael Scott tried to pass Ryan Pearson in several occasions, but got held up in lap traffic. That was with 5 to go. This is coming to the white flag. Michael Scott, he tries to make a move. You see Eric Weber there. He basically holds the bottom and makes no effort to get out of the way from the inside, so he decides to almost put Pearson in the wall. And as a result of that, this would give Ryan Pearson a good opportunity for Ryan Pearson to cruise on. He will come out of turn 4, and he will take the checkered flag here at Texas Motor Speedway, his 2nd win of the year. And as a result of the speeds that the 91 and 07 were carrying, both of them were called to the hauler for failure to meet minimum speed. So tough break for Michael Scott. He had his first win right there.